Hey, Jerry here with Bourbon Buds. Sorry Alan couldn't make it tonight. That's something I want to talk to you about. Been kind of weighing on me a bit. Something I think is pretty important. Um, kind of why I started my bourbon journey to begin with. Um, so I'm talking about something that's more important than what's just in the glass. Um, it's deeper. It's the people, the distillers, the creators, um, the drinkers. It's just everybody, all the people that are involved with bourbon that really makes bourbon what it is. And I'm going to refer to it as the Brotherhood of Bourbon. And like I say, really, I think it's why I started my bourbon journey to begin with. Um, Back in 1996, November 7th, I believe it was, Heaven Hill had a devastating fire. Lost several rick houses, um, several barrels. I guess the estimate is the world lost 2% of bourbon that day, just from one distillery. They lost that many rick houses, devastated the community. Um, but what happened next was actually totally remarkable. Competitors of Heaven Hill, specifically Jim Beam and Brown Foreman, competitors, reached out to Max Shapiro, said, "Hey, what can we do to help?" We offer. They offered production, storage, bottling, distilling, and without their help, Heaven Hill very well could have failed. That would have been one less competitor out of their way. More bottles they get to sell. But that's not what happened. The bourbon community, along with the community of Bardstown, they all came together, and Heaven Hill didn't miss a beat. And that really, truly shows a brotherhood of bourbon. I'm seeing. Max Shapiro even said, today was our darkest day, but our proudest moment because of the community and competitor industry support. Um, Another thing, another example I'll give you of that. I've heard stories of Elmer T. Lee, Jimmy Russell, and Booker No having a monthly bottle share. Now, these are three competitors who's sharing their bourbons, their whiskeys, with each other. However, the kicker was during their bottle share, you couldn't drink out of your own bottle. You had to drink your competitor or friend. You had to drink their bottle that they brought. Um, it just shows you the collaboration among these guys. I don't think I can call them competitors at all. I do believe they would do what they could to sell that last bottle of bourbon over the next guy. But I wouldn't call them competitors. I call them friends, collaborators in the industry. Some might even call them family. I feel like this extends beyond just the distilleries. I believe it extends through the whiskey tube community, YouTubers, whiskey tubers, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever you want to call them. Call them whiskey tubers. That community of folks, content creators, they're just absolutely remarkable as well. My channel's just over a month old. I kind of still don't know what I'm doing. But yet I've been able to reach out to a few of the channels that have inspired me to start this channel. Specifically Brad Hughes with Brad's Bourbon Reviews, Charles Alfred with That Bourbon Dude. There's several other channels we'll mention later that have inspired us, that we look up to, that we watch on a consistent basis. We like their content and their ideas, um, but nevertheless, that whole community. I mean, I don't consider myself a competitor, but technically I am. I mean, I want subscribers. I want, the views and the likes. I want Patreon support. I don't have Patreon at this point, but those guys are competing for Patreon support. Some of the larger ones have merchandise stores. They're competing for that merchandise sale. But yet, it's a bourbon community. It's a brotherhood. Um, what other competitor can you call up and say, or message and say, hey, can you give me some advice? Can you look at my last video and give me some advice? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Give me some equipment suggestions. You just competitors don't do that with each other. Friends, they'll do that. Those brotherhood that I'm speaking of, they'll do that, and that's exactly what they've done. They really guided me through the beginning processes of starting this channel, giving me some great pointers, some great advice. I can't thank them enough for doing that. Um, this is also witnessed when I see whiskey tubers collaborating with each other, doing things like barrel picks, live streams, blind tastings, um, interviewing each other, podcasts, things like that. Fundraisers. There's a lot of good fundraisers going on right now. SLB Drinks has a Riley Hospital fundraiser, I believe this coming weekend, November 1st maybe. Um, I'll drop a link below to you can check that out. But so they're raising money for a children's hospital. Barrel King, Bourbon, Missouri. They're a blendery. They're doing a barrel blend with Evernorth Spirits, which is Bourbon Junkies, Dan and Sean, and 13th Colony. They're doing that as a fundraiser for a child that's been diagnosed with cancer, and a cancer cure research organization. So just the collaboration again with not only the distilleries but the people outside of the distilleries, that the competitors, they're collaborating with each other. They're friends. They have the same goal in mind. It's a big brotherhood, and that's, like I say, it's why I'm into this bourbon journey. I just really enjoy the brotherhood that it's bringing, socializing. Um, we we see this in our local bourbon society, and I think most uh, communities have a bourbon group of some sort. We're fortunate enough in the Ozarks of Missouri to have the Bourbon Society of the Ozarks. They are a 501c3 organization, so they're non for profit, do a lot of work in the community. Um, so, any chance that we get to help raise funds for that organization, I know it's not just going to buy bottles of bourbon, it's actually going to help the community to meet needs that are in our local community. Um, but it's a collaboration of all of its members, and we're 4,000 members strong, so we have a great group of people here. But we do bottle shares. There's a couple of bottle shares during the week. Almost every week you can find a bottle share. We do an annual bonfire. There's a whiskey and social event in January. That's a pretty good event. But just multiple things that you should check into your local bourbon groups. If you can't, if you don't know of any, search the Facebook pages. Typically, that's the best place to find them. But talk to your local liquor stores, wherever you're buying your bottles from. A lot of times they'll have information on those folks as well, or who you can contact to maybe just even get one started. And when I started my bourbon journey, I had just me and a buddy, me and Alan, maybe one or two other people from my poker group. But now I have host my own bottle share that I have 10, 12 people that are a core of us. We don't all meet together all the time, but the bottle share is open to all of us during our time of the week. If they can make it, great, and if they can't, that's fine too. But it's just a great time to socialize, just relax, enjoy a good pour, enjoy a good cigar, just sit around and decompress, unwind, lean on each other for advice. Um, and again, just enjoy the brotherhood of what bourbon is supposed to be. It's more than just the pour. It's more than just what's in the glass. It truly is a brotherhood. I do want to mention just a few of our most inspiring channels that we watch. Alan and I both. Um, I do have a list of them, so I didn't forget anybody. So I am going to read off this list. Apologize for that. I just don't want to leave anybody out. Of course, I mentioned Brad's Bourbon Reviews with Brad Hughes and That Bourbon Dude with Charles Alford. Probably my top two inspirations, two people that have helped me out the most so far. I also enjoy Whiskey Weather with Brandon, Everyday Drinker with Nathan, SLB Drinks, Kurt and Trent. Man, they do a lot of good work. They're doing a big fundraiser right now for Riley Children's Hospital. Believe they're having a huge event on Saturday, November 1st. I'll try to drop a link below so you can get access to that. I know they're selling raffle tickets, giving away bottles, might be auctioning some stuff. Of course, they have merchandise for sale all the time. Bourbon Junkies with Dan and Sean. I mentioned them earlier with Evernorth Spirits. Bourbon Junkies is real good. Can be a little abrasive at times, so just kind of let that roll off the back if that offends you. But they're just having fun, just like we are. Artfully Bourbon with Arthur and Scott. They're a couple of local to Missouri. I believe they're in the St. Louis area. We hope to do some collaborating with them since we're so close. We're only a couple hours away from there. So it'd be nice to collaborate with Arthur and Scott a little bit. Bourbon Kingdom with Zach and David. Enjoy their content. Mash and Drum with Jason. Stuff and Whiskey with Aaron and Josh. They do a lot of great blind reviews where they'll get a sample, not knowing what it is. They'll blind the sample, give their review of that sample, and then reveal that sample after the review is over. So they do that frequently, and I really enjoy that. And then ADHD Whiskey with Matt. Love watching his content. He was supposed to have a live stream just a few days ago. Jimmy John's actually got the best of him, so he wasn't feeling too hot. Had to reschedule that. Should be coming up within the next week. And then Bruzel. We both enjoy watching Bruzel. Bruzel does a lot of bourbon hunting. Does a lot of blind tasting. Has probably one of the biggest channels on YouTube. Biggest Patreon support. Does merchandise. Actually opened his own distillery, trying to get that up and running. Believe they have released a few bottles that was blended, not distilled. But I know they're working on that project. Bruzel also does Bruzel Fest annually. He's had two now, I believe, and that's in Opelika, Alabama. But we'll drop a link for Bruzel's information as well, which you guys should already have that. But yes, but we enjoy, all the whiskey tuber channels that we watch. If I didn't mention anybody by name, certainly wasn't my intention to leave anybody out. The list of folks we did mention though are the ones we seem to be watching the most and enjoy the most. But yeah, it's just great to be a part of this community. Hopefully, this community accepts us as well. So far, I've been accepted at every turn. I haven't been made to feel like we're not a part of anything. Like I say, these folks are more than generous enough to help us out with suggestions and comments, things like that. So we're happy for that. So Booker No, I think he said it best when he said that bourbon is best when it's shared. So that's if you don't get anything else from this video, take that home. Bourbon is best when shared. So share it with your friends, share it with your neighbors, you know, get involved in your local bourbon societies, get involved with your YouTube community, Facebook groups, um, and expand your brotherhood. All right. Well, that's it for me. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite YouTuber is, whiskey tuber. Let me know what your favorite distillery is. What you like about them. Your favorite collaboration story, if you have one. It'd be great, great to hear it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I sure appreciate that. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Keep on sipping.